In the year 2147, the interstellar vessel Aurora's Reach glided through the void of the Orion Arm, a colossal arc of diplomacy and exploration crewed by representatives from over a dozen sentient species. The ship was a marvel of collaborative engineering, sleek corridors lined with bioluminescent panels from the aquatic Lyrians, gravity wells tuned by the insectoid Zorith, and life support systems enhanced by human ingenuity. Captain Alara Voss, a stern vexary with iridescent scales and a reputation for unyielding discipline, commanded the vessel. Her crew included engineers, scientists, and envoys, all bound by the fragile accords of the Galactic Concordance. Among them was Dr. Liam Hartley, a human xenobiologist from Earth. At 42, Liam was unassuming, tall and lanky, with tousled brown hair and eyes that crinkled with quiet curiosity. He had joined the Aurora's Reach after years studying alien ecosystems on colony worlds, drawn by the promise of bridging cultural divides. Humans were still newcomers to the galactic stage, often viewed with suspicion for their emotional volatility, but Liam's empathy had earned him a niche role, mediating interspecies conflicts through understanding rather than protocol. The story began on a routine resupply stop at the neutral outpost of Nexus Prime, a sprawling space station orbiting a gas giant in the neutral zone between Concordance territories. The Aurora's Reach docked amid a bustle of traders and refugees fleeing the ongoing skirmishes in the Perseus sector. It was there that they acquired an unexpected passenger, a young Kaler cub named Rin. The Kaler were a formidable species from the arid world of Kale Prime, bipedal predators with furred hides, razor-sharp claws, and jaws that could crush durasteel. Adults stood over 7 feet tall, their society built on pack hierarchies and ritual hunts. But Rin was no adult. He was a cub, barely 4 cycles old, equivalent to a human child of 8. His fur was a mottled gray, patchy from malnutrition, and his golden eyes darted with perpetual wariness. Rescued from a derelict freighter adrift after a pirate raid, Rin had been the sole survivor of his pack. The outpost authorities, overwhelmed, had foisted him onto the Aurora's Reach as a temporary ward, until they could arrange transport to a Kaler orphanage. Liam was in the cargo bay overseeing the unloading of supplies when Rin arrived. The cub was escorted by 2 burly Zorith security officers, their chitinous exoskeletons clicking in irritation. Rin huddled in a containment crate, his small frame trembling as he snarled at anyone who approached. "He's feral," one Zorith grumbled, rubbing a fresh scratch on his arm. "Bit me when we tried to feed him." Captain Voss inspected the cub from a distance, her scales rippling in disapproval. "We are not a nursery, but the Concordance mandates aid to refugees. Dr. Hartley, you're human, your kind has a penchant for nurturing. See to it that this doesn't disrupt operations." Liam nodded, though he felt a pang of unease. He wasn't a parent, but he had studied enough alien psychologies to recognize trauma. As the crew dispersed, he approached the crate slowly, kneeling to Rin's level. "Hey there, little one," he said softly, his voice steady. "I'm Liam. You're safe now." Rin's response was a guttural hiss, his claws scraping the crate's floor. But Liam didn't flinch. Instead, he sat cross-legged and began humming a old Earth lullaby, a melody from his childhood on the Martian colonies. It was a small gesture, but for a moment, Rin's ears perked up, his aggression giving way to curiosity. That first night, Rin was quartered in a makeshift habitat in the Xenobiology lab, a room with simulated Kaler savannas projected on the walls, complete with holographic prey for hunting practice. Liam volunteered for monitor duty, reviewing the cub's file. His pack had been slaughtered in a raid by the rogue faction known as the Void Marauders. Rin had hidden in the ship's vents for days, witnessing the horrors through grates. No wonder he lashed out. The beginning of their journey together was marked by small victories and setbacks. Rin refused food from automated dispensers, associating them with the freighter's failing systems. Liam hand-fed him strips of synthesized meat, talking all the while about Earth animals, lions, wolves, creatures that mirrored Kaler instincts. "You're like a cub in a pride," Liam explained one evening, as Rin tentatively accepted a morsel. "Strong, but you need time to heal." But healing was far from linear. The cub's trauma manifested in bursts, sudden, explosive episodes where fear twisted into aggression. The first major incident occurred during a ship-wide drill simulating hull breaches. Alarms blared, lights flashed red, and crew members rushed to stations. The sounds echoed the chaos of the raid on Rin's freighter. Trapped in his habitat, Rin panicked. His eyes glazed over, and he roared, slamming against the force field door. When it malfunctioned under his assault, he bolted into the corridors. Crew members scattered as the cub charged, claws extended, knocking over equipment and slashing at shadows. A Lyrian engineer, caught off guard, fired a stun prod, but Rin dodged, his fear fueling unnatural speed. He cornered a young Vexery ensign in the mess hall, growling low, his body rigid with terror mistaken for rage. "Stand down," Captain Voss barked over the comms, arriving with security. The Zorath officers raised their weapons, ready to tranquilize. But Liam pushed through the crowd, waving them back.
"No.
"Don't shoot, he's not attacking, he's scared." Ignoring the captain's orders, Liam approached Rin unarmed. The cub's golden eyes locked onto him, wild and unfocused. Liam recognized the signs: dilated pupils, rapid breathing, a flashback. "Rin, it's me." "Liam, remember the song?" He began humming again, the lullaby cutting through the tension. Slowly, he extended a hand, palm up. The cub hesitated, then lunged, not to attack, but to bury his head against Liam's chest, trembling. The crew watched in stunned silence as Liam wrapped his arms around Rin, murmuring reassurances. "It's over. You're safe." Voss was furious. In her ready room later, she confronted Liam. "That cub is a liability. One more outburst, and I'll have him sedated and shipped off at the next port." "But Captain," Liam protested, "he's not violent by nature. It's trauma, post-traumatic stress. On Earth, we call it PTSD. Kalar physiology is similar. Their neural pathways store memories vividly. Those alarms triggered a memory of the raid." Voss's scales flattened in skepticism. Humans and their emotions. The Zorath would cull the weak. The Lyrians isolate them. Why indulge this? "Because understanding heals," Liam replied. "Give me time. I'll help him." Reluctantly, Voss agreed, but the crew's resentment grew. Whispers circulated. The human was soft, enabling danger. Rin's episodes continued, each one eroding trust. During a diplomatic reception with visiting envoys, Rin escaped his habitat again, triggered by the scent of a marauder artifact on display, a trophy from a recent skirmish. He rampaged through the atrium, overturning tables and snarling at guests. A dignitary from the Avian Solari faction was nicked by his claws, sparking an interspecies incident. Security subdued Rin with a net, and he was confined to a reinforced cell. The crew demanded action. "He's a threat," a Zorath officer argued in the briefing. "Kalar cubs are imprinted on packs. Without one, he's unstable." Liam advocated fiercely. "He's not unstable, he's grieving. His pack was his world. We need to build a new one for him." But his pleas fell on deaf ears. Voss scheduled Rin's transfer to a Kalar facility, known for their harsh rehabilitation methods, essentially breaking the spirit to rebuild obedience. Desperate, Liam spent nights researching in the ship's archives. He delved into Kalar lore. Their packs weren't just families but neural bonds, sharing emotions through pheromones. Rin's isolation amplified his pain. Humans, with their adaptable social structures, might bridge that gap. Liam proposed a radical idea: integrate Rin into daily life, under supervision, to form attachments. Voss dismissed it, but Liam persisted, enlisting a few allies, a Lyrian medic fascinated by psychology and a human engineer who missed his own children. Together, they created a program: controlled exposures to stimuli, paired with positive reinforcements. Liam became Rin's anchor, teaching him breathing exercises adapted from Earth therapy, using holographic simulations to desensitize him to triggers. The middle of the story unfolded over weeks, a tapestry of progress and regression. One day, in the hydroponics bay, Rin helped Liam tend to earth plants, his claws delicately pruning vines.
See?
Gentle strength, Liam said, smiling as Rin purred contentedly. But that night, a power fluctuation mimicked the freighter's failing lights, and Rin lashed out, destroying equipment and injuring himself on shattered glass. The crew's patience frayed. During a heated meeting, a Vexery crewmate accused Liam. "Your understanding endangers us all. On my world, we'd exile him." Liam stood firm. "Exile won't fix him. Empathy will. Humans evolved through cooperation, not dominance. Let me prove it." A turning point came during a real crisis. The Aurora's Reach encountered a marauder ambush in an asteroid field. Shields buckled under fire, alarms wailing. The ship rocked, debris clanging against the hull. Echoes of Rin's nightmare. Confined but sensing the chaos, Rin broke free again. This time, his burst wasn't blind rage. It was protective fury. He raced to the bridge, where marauders had boarded via a breach. Captain Voss and her team fought desperately, but the invaders outnumbered them. Rin arrived like a storm, his trauma-fueled aggression channeled against the true enemy. He tackled a marauder, claws rending armor, his roars drowning the gunfire. But midway, a familiar scent hit him, the same as the raiders who killed his pack. Fear paralyzed him. He froze, whimpering. Liam, who had followed, saw the vulnerability. "Rin, focus on me." He stepped into the fray, unarmed, drawing the cub's gaze. "We're your pack now. Fight with us." The words pierced the haze. Rin's eyes cleared, and together they turned the tide. Liam distracted a marauder with an improvised tool, a flare gun from emergency kits, while Rin struck from behind. The crew rallied, repelling the boarders. In the aftermath, as repairs commenced, the ship's dynamic shifted. Voss, bandaged but alive, approached Liam and Rin in the medbay. "Your methods saved us. The cub's instincts, tempered by your guidance." Rin, exhausted, nuzzled Liam's hand, a gesture of trust. The human had shown understanding where others saw only a beast, recognizing that trauma wasn't weakness, but a wound needing care. Over the following months, Rin's episodes lessened. Integrated into the crew, he formed bonds, a playful rivalry with the Zorith, curiosity with the Lyrians. Liam taught him stories of Earth heroes who overcame loss, weaving human resilience into Kalar pride. By the time they reached Kale Prime, Rin was transformed, not broken, but whole. The orphanage offered placement, but Rin refused, choosing to stay with the Aurora's Reach as an apprentice under Liam's mentorship. Voss petitioned the Concordance to formalize it, citing the cub's heroism. In the end, as the ship departed for new horizons, Liam and Rin stood at a viewport, watching stars streak by. "You showed me understanding," Rin said in halting common, his voice maturing. "Now I understand too." Liam smiled. "That's what packs do." The story of the cub and the human spread through the galaxy, a testament to empathy's power in a universe of conflict. It reminded all that beneath fur, scales, or skin, trauma was universal, and so was healing.